This week on the Slaptail Squad, we're talking about Doomsday predictions. What's up, Mother Earth? What's going on? What's going on with the human race? Yeah, it's all doom and gloom, honestly. But we're going to try to make it funny because this is the Slaptail Squad. So let's get slapping.
Slaptail Squad, assemble.
This is the Slaptail Squad, and if you are listening to this, you are a member of the great Slaptail Nation, my nation. And who am I? Well, I'm the Beaveman, master of the universe, creator of all things great and small, and general of the great Slaptail Nation army. And with me today, from the anarchist den, is my number 2, the Rons.
Somewhere deep, dark, where you can't find me. Hey, Beaveman! Big shout out, by the way, before we start, to Colin.
Nope.
Who?
Nope.
No, I don't. No.
No
Big shout out
nope.
to Colin, who actually started binge listening to our podcast.
Well, thank you very much, Colin.
Colin.
Thank you, Colin.
Because he comes up to me because we're employed together, and he goes, "Man, that is the funniest shit I have heard. I am binge listening every episode."
Well, excellent. That's great. That's fantastic. Spread the word, Colin.
Like your cheeks. Spread them.
Is the area that you're in, the deep, dark, moist area, is that the colon? Is that where you're coming to us from, Rons?
I'm pretty sure Colin's going to get a big laugh out of you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, also with us is the Swan. Say hello, Swan. She's right next to me.
Hello, Swan.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
It's pretty awesome. Way to go.
Does it inspire awe?
No.
Oh.
Doomsday. It's Doomsday time. Are you guys ready for some Doomsday time? Were you ready for the Beaveman's predictions of what is going to happen to the Earth and the human race? Or what should happen to the Earth and the human race?
No, I think we've discussed this about pandemics wiping on half the planet and everything.
Yeah, well, you are correct, Rons, but now it's an update. It's a Doomsday update. These are my new predictions. We can have your guys' predictions also. That's fine. It's not all about the Beaveman. It's not always all about the Beaveman.
You got to be kidding me.
No.
All right. Wow.
No, I am nothing if not tolerant of you guys. Am I not? Am I not tolerant?
Oh, you are not only tolerant, you are the humblest person I know.
Yes. Are you not entertained? Do you not feel welcomed?
Loved, welcome. Join the cult of the Beaveman.
That's okay too.
You could be one of us.
That would be fine. But the end game for the cult is still sex. Yes, it is. That's the end game. I don't care what anybody says. The end game, unless you're what was the Hale Bop people? They were pretty much asexual. But a good cult, the end game.
They also castrated at one point.
I think they did remove some testicles. I think you're right.
That's
sad. I feel bad for that cult. I really do. They were some good people. They really were. Just misunderstood. Really? They were just misunderstood. That's a really sad group. If you're really interested in cults, you should really read about them. They're kind of some sad folks.
I don't know about them. I don't think I know anything about them.
Anyway.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah.
There it is.
Just a word cult.
Here it is. Here's my prediction. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Poop.
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 That's going to be,
what is with this shit?
Well, exactly. Poop is going to be the end of all things on this planet. Poop.
Why do you say that?
Because that's what it is. Poop is going to create the chain reaction that leads to the destruction of this planet and hence the human race. But I do have a solution on how to save it. But I'm not going to get to that right now.
We're just going to talk about poop.
I just want you to know that it's poop. Poop.
So Ron segued in really good with his shout out to our new friend Colin.
Yes, Colin. Isn't that what you said, Rons?
Yes.
No, I said Colin.
No, you said Colin.
Oh, are you sure?
Colins as in plural, more than one. His and his.
His and his. So what is your fascination? I remember on a previous podcast, once again, impact bowels. And now this. How is this going to lead to the downfall of mankind? And
well,
your fascination with this?
I'm going to tell you.
Everybody poops, Rons. Everybody poops.
Really?
Yeah. Worms
does
poop.
would you consider a black hole or the Big Bang of the universe an anus, and we're expelled from that anus?
I
I mean,
mean, if you want to have some sort of a metaphor for everything, I guess if that's where you want to go with it.
Well, I don't want to go with it,
All right.
but
Would it make you feel better if I also said that flatulence is a contributing factor, not just poop, but flatulence as well?
like.
Well, I know about
methane.
the flatulence, right?
I don't know.
Because-
Do you?
oh yeah,
What do you,
I mean,
what
that's
do you know
why-
about flatulence, Ron?
What do you know about the end of all civilization because of flatulence?
oh, the contributing of the methane to the atmosphere, causing the ozone to deteriorate.
Okay, so do you think that there's more methane from farts as opposed to fecal material itself? I mean,
Ooh,
what
that
produces
is a good- well-
more methane? The actual
that's
shit?
a good mathematical question. Solve for X. For
Well,
farts.
I mean, what would produce more methane? A fart or shit?
I feel like shit. Like porta potties all lined up in a row would have way more than farts all lined up in a row.
The chain reaction.
Yeah, I would say it's chain reaction, but I really couldn't answer that question.
I can honestly answer you that there's more methane from shit than a fart. There's more methane released from.
I mean, there's more
I guess you would be
particles
right.
to
It's-
break down than.
Yeah, that's where I was going at decomposing matter.
Decomposition. And then you even have, if you want to even go any further, there are countries that use shit for fuel. So that's going to leave, that's not exactly super healthy either.
Again, your
Burning
fascination
shit
just
into
boggles
the air.
This
mind.
has nothing to do with my fascination with shit. And first of all, I don't have a fascination with shit. That would be the swan.
I do. Fart humor. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
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 It's funny.
Oh,
That's great, Swan.
so are we going to hear from Mixie? Because I'm pretty sure you should have had a fart sound lined
No,
up by now.
I don't necessarily need to do that.
Oh,
No, I don't need to do that. But
That would be juvenile, and we're not like that.
no, this is a very serious, serious podcast. No, okay, so poop is going to cause the downfall of the human race, and this is why. Are you tired, Rons? You can't control
Yeah.
yourself. You have to yawn every time we have a podcast. Is that? Doesn't matter what
Yeah,
time it is,
yeah.
Swan.
No, it doesn't.
It could be in the evening before he's going to go to work. It could be in the afternoon after he should have slept. It could be in the morning before he sleeps. It doesn't matter. All points in time, he's very sleepy.
Maybe he's got built up CO2 from all that poop.
Could be. Are you calling us right now from your own home's outhouse? Do you guys have a toilet, or is this just your outhouse that you're calling us from?
we have a toilet, but an outhouse wouldn't be too bad.
How many toilets do you have?
One.
One. Very conservative of you.
One toilet. Wow. I don't know what I would do with one toilet.
Well, you would shit stain
Apparently,
it.
your fascination with shit tells us that's the truth.
Yeah,
She
well,
would-
here's the deal. We have 4, and I really only prefer to go to the bathroom in one.
But you'll shit stain them all, Rons. Doesn't matter.
No. I'm pretty partial to one toilet.
She'll still shit stain every toilet we have. Are you okay there? Can you control?
Oh,
Is it all right?
You can't.
Maybe you should have a
I'm
sleep.
okay.
You know what I should do for the next podcast?
What's that?
I should administer the Epworth sleepiness scale with Rons.
Okay.
It's only a few
Do it.
questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm sure he has some
Okay.
sort of sleep
I'm
disorder.
good.
I believe he has a sleep disorder.
Oh, I think like most of the workforce.
No, stop. You probably did that before your workforce. Do you snore?
Yeah, you had poor sleep habits before. You would yawn before you ever had a job all the time.
You stay up all night playing video games. What are you talking about?
Definitely. Oh my gosh.
No,
you
he doesn't
figured
play
me
with
out.
video games. He
Not
plays computer
anymore.
games.
Oh,
They're not
PC games. Sorry, PC gaming.
annoying.
Oh, talking into the mic. You saw the hand signal.
was.
No, you weren't.
Was.
No.
Anyway, okay, so back to poop.
Poop.
Here's the problem. We are, believe it or not, this world is just overburdened by feces.
That's gross. It's on everything. Don't touch it.
There's feces everywhere.
The M&Ms at the dojo.
Maybe you don't see piles and piles of doo-doo
Wow.
Sometimes you do.
everywhere you go. But believe it or not, there are just mountains and mountains and mountains of poo. And I'm not talking about human poo. I'm talking about livestock poo. Rivers, mounds, mountains. So much poop everywhere. So
But
much
doesn't
so,
that contribute to the circle of life?
not that amount of. It would actually contribute to the circle of death.
Okay.
I mean, some animals poop more than they eat and put out more poop in a day than they weigh. So
Yeah.
that's
The
bad.
only animal I could ever think of something doing that massive would probably be a blue whale.
But it doesn't
No.
have to be massive.
No.
I mean, think about a rabbit. Think about how many turds a rabbit makes in a day.
Well, I mean, any type
Actually,
of
I
small
don't.
rodent. I'm not talking about rodents, but if you really want to get technical, I mean, don't mice continuously pee?
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that
think
part of
so.
their actual cycle? They continuously shit and pee.
Yeah, I think so, and that's why they're nasty. Yeah,
I mean, that's their actual biology. They just continuously do it.
they got very high metabolism.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I'm talking about livestock shit. There's so much livestock shit that you could cover the world over with livestock shit in several layers easily, just from cattle production itself.
Ew, it's gross.
And where does all that
Yeah,
shit go?
I've heard that before.
Where's all that shit go?
They sell it to farmers.
Okay, but it doesn't go away.
It
It's still shit.
just gets mixed into your vegetables.
Yeah, doesn't it decompose though, as we talked about?
And when it breaks down, what do you get?
Methane
Mulch.
gas.
Nitrogen, methane, all kinds of fun things, all kinds of fun products that get that produced from poop, the breakdown of poop.
You just wanted to say poop like 5,000 times today.
Yeah, I've noticed this.
No, but it also there's also runoff from all that shit. I mean, where do you think that people actually put all that shit? They don't just spread it. They don't just spread it on their crops. They don't just ship it off. Have you ever seen those really big holding, like the big cement like type bunker things?
Yeah.
They're loaded with shit.
That's gross.
It's piled shit.
Yeah, but isn't that also a natural fertilizer for crops?
Yeah, but if there's way more than your crops, where's the extra go?
You're
Yeah.
saving it up for future crops.
Right, but you would never have enough
But you're-
crops for all that shit, is what I'm trying to say. There's far more shit produced by livestock than we can ever even freaking deal with. And what do they do with it? Well, I'm sure a lot of it goes into runoff. I'm sure a lot of it probably gets dumped. You can't just have piles and piles and piles of shit right now. They do stuff to get rid of it. There's not enough crop or what do you call it, farmland in the world for all the shit that we produce on a daily basis.
So where does it go then?
Everywhere, our water table spread about like yesterday's mustard.
If I'm listening correctly, the ecological balance is out of whack.
Yes,
Good.
absolutely. In other words, we produce so much livestock, and that livestock produces so much shit and flatulence and burping that's what's actually going to be the destruction of our world, not cars, and not industry, and not burning coal, and not all those other things.
I doubt that.
Really?
I doubt that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you doubt that?
Well, because mankind is stupid and it's gone to great lengths to off itself.
In what way then?
Yeah. Oh, geez.
So you think that we're gonna be dead from some other reason before that happens?
Most likely.
Oh, I thought you were saying that it wasn't. I thought you were saying that I was wrong and that the methane is not an overproduction. I thought that's what you were saying. I was like, no, you would be
you're
totally
right
wrong, dude.
No, you're right about the methane, but I think
You think
shit
we're gonna
won't
kill
be
us
the
off?
downfall. I'll
Well, that's
say,
okay. You can have your theory next. Let me talk
Okay.
about my poop theory first.
All right, you talk
And
about
your poop theory might actually play into my theory also.
Well, mine's not a poop theory, more so.
No,
but
is he not listening?
No, you did say your poop theory. So his theory of why, not you mean. why
I'm
play
saying
into
that
my
your
correlate with
theory
yours.
of the downfall of the human race might actually be part of my poop theory.
Like a subcategory.
In other words, it might tie in, Ron's.
Okay, I got that.
So first, I'm just saying there's an overproduction of poop by animals, and not animals that wander the earth naturally. There's not so many of them that they're producing a ton of shit. Even humans, in comparison to how much livestock produces, is not. Even though there's billions of humans on the planet, our production of shit is nothing compared to the poop factory that is a cow and the amount of gas that it produces. So if we are going to be covered by poo and all this release of methane into the atmosphere, the chain reaction that will occur, the first chain reaction is the melting of the polar ice caps, global warming. So that's my first part of the chain. Shit equals global warming because of the overproduction of shit and methane gases contributing to global warming.
Okay.
Poop.
Poop.
Exactly, poop.
Yeah.
Because of that, we're going to have flooding. So that's the second part, is flooding. So are we directly killed by shit? No. I mean, well, technically, yes. But are people going to say, oh, this is because of shit that we're flooding? Nah, probably not. But what does flooding lead to next?
Standing water.
Which leads to?
Shit.
Well,
Germs.
I mean, sure, you're going to have shit, but yes.
Bacteria,
But germs, bacteria, disease.
Yeah.
And then
7-Elevens.
Eating the hot dog that's on that little continuous rotisserie.
Yeah, I don't even know who would buy that. It's nasty. Like you look at it and it's like got a greenish tinge to it. And it's
That greenish tinge adds to the taste. Let's
that, and it's that's just the degradation of the heme.
ew.
Yeah.
Of the hemoglobin that's in the.
Oh, definitely.
So, I
Everybody
mean,
knows
okay.
that. Everybody knows that.
Rons, have you eaten a gas station hot dog?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, I'm sure I have also at some point in time. I'm sure I
I
have.
have never eaten a gas station
Well,
hot
good
dog.
for you. Not all of us are as rich as you, Swan.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
that's
let's
not
face
even
it.
rich.
Not all of us could have not ever at one point or another lived at the poverty level, Swan.
Well, that is an expensive hot dog. Why would you spend that much money for a hot dog at the
Well,
gas station?
if you have nothing else near you that is producing food, I've had gas station pizza. It's actually pretty good, really. Some gas stations really make some serious
Yeah, you know,
Well, I mean,
they have their own ovens.
Yes, the ones like that are okay.
Oh, I see now.
I've never I know, not just sitting in a window that you on a rotisserie.
Anyway,
the corn dog and no.
Anyway.
Whoa, corn dogs are the best.
Anyway.
Okay.
That is the first couple of links in my chain. What is there any of this ringing true to you yet, Rons, about your destruction of the human race? Or would you like me to continue? Would you like me to continue on my string of the death and destruction of the human race? With just brief descriptions.
All, I mean, let's talk about, I'll let you go on because it's been a happy fucking week so far. So let's do this.
Okay. So not only, you have to also remember that there's going to be, contamination of the water supply, which is not great. All those different, materials that cause cancer. That's a slow burn. That's not the big one. But so flooding leads to disease. Flooding also takes away the land that we can live on. That's dry land. I mean, we're talking like fucking Waterworld here.
So we're gonna have like swampy.
I was just gonna reference Waterworld. Yes.
So what happens then? Now we have to have a place to live. What are the chances of us having floating barges? Probably not real good. But what are the chances that there will be land on this planet that is not surrounded or flooded by water? Probably pretty good. And so that land will now become the world's greatest commodity. And so how are you going to take people from where they're at in a flooded region to land? You're going to do that by what means?
Cruise.
War. You're going to do it by war. You're going to do it by conquering, by conquest.
Book a cruise and just go to it.
I mean, I guess, but they don't have to let you in. Or they're like, oh, no, fuck you, we're not letting you in. It's our land.
If you bring a gift.
Oh, I guess you could. But I'm just saying that that's going to lead to war. And then...
And what is it good for?
Not much.
Oh, absolutely
nothing.
Apparently not for us, because we're given another $30 billion or some shit. Anyway. So war, again, slow burn. Not a giant killer of a ton of people. The majority of the people will probably die from, starvation, the flood itself, disease because of the flood. But it all goes back to... It all goes back to poop. It all goes back to poop. And so, what do you think there, Ron? What's your theory? What's your great prediction for the future of the human race?
My theory is mankind has already set itself in motion through predictions to off itself until it changes its course.
Like, meaning
wow, that's
what?
A super generic
Generic. So
no, it's not.
Okay,
by what means?
Support that statement.
If you read several books, if you know how to read, right? Not just the picture books out there, and you read too much into it or too little, you'll see that some of the stuff, if you put it to context, has come true.
Like
So
what?
if I said, "Oh, whoa, back up,"
It's a real
Oh,
slow. It's a real
build.
slow
So
acceleration. He's
yeah,
very
it is actually.
he's building just a little bit at a time.
Okay.
So
It's
if
like
we
a
take
pebble
something
rolling
out
down a
of
hill.
if we take something out of the Bible, and it says, "And the dead will rise." Look at down in the south with low water tables. When they flood, what happens? The graves, coffins, they rise to the surface and they float. So there you go. There's your first prediction come true.
What does that have to do with the destruction
Hold
of
on.
mankind?
Hold
though?
on. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm
The
getting
pebble
there.
is the pebble is not
Rambling.
the pebble's not getting any faster. It's still slowly
So anyway,
it's
so now
slowly
you have
rolling.
your first prediction that's come true. So the dead will rise and walk the earth or float on the earth, right? This and the angels will burn. Well, there's a city out in Los Angeles, right? Los Angeles, the angels that catches fire every year, riots, whatever, mankind. So now the angels are burning, right? So this is your second prediction. Then you look at global warming, right? So you
I
put all
don't
that
know.
together.
How many drinks has somebody taken so far, do you think? Quite a few drinks.
Back on right.
He's back on the
Hold on,
right.
hold on, hold
took
on,
that
hold on.
he took that compliment I gave him and then just
Regret.
threw it the fuck out the window.
I'm trying to get there. I really am. So what happens?
Try
now
pausing.
you have
Try pausing instead of saying right. See if that works for you.
okay.
That's some
got
advice.
that.
We could give it to you off air, but we're going to give it to you on air because you like that in person
I do.
feedback.
So right now, and that wasn't part of it, by the way. All this stuff is happening, and there's some cult member putting all this together and saying, "Okay, like Hail Bop, we've got to come together." Right?
Exactly.
There we go.
Try pausing.
There it is. Right.
There we go. So when you put it all together, people tend to off themselves. Cults that. And on top of that, we have, as the Beaveman said, you're fighting over land. Right now, we have wars going on. We've got a major war going on. And all for what? Land rights, sea rights, whatever. And it's just one push of a button from nuclear Armageddon. And that's how mankind's going to destroy itself over some crap that it doesn't need, right? Instead of working towards a better tomorrow, we're letting our egos get in the way. Right? You want the latest Barbie, Ken, Kung Fu, Masters of the Universe doll, action figure, whatever. And people tend to off themselves for the stupidest reasons. You ever read the Darwin Awards?
See what happens when we let him just
This
talk.
is like Walmart at Christmas time. Oh boy.
See what happens when we just let him
We
talk.
just let him. Yeah.
That's what happens when I just let him
I
talk.
let you go off.
Well, no, but you took this giant leap. See how mine was incremental. You went from people are going to see the signs of the coming apocalypse in the Bible to a cult, and then you went right to nuclear war. Like where was your? How
There's
did
the
you
middle
go
ground.
from? How did you go from a cult to nuclear war? I just want to know how you did that.
Oh, okay. You want the stuff in between.
Yeah, well, because most cults have not committed grand scale death on a huge, except for Jim Jones. That is not still that's still not grand scale.
Attacks in Japan.
That 4 people,
All right, and
4 people dead, Rons. Actually, they didn't have any deaths from the sarin attacks.
that you know of, it's a cover up.
Oh, okay, but I'm talking about grand scale death, like a major flood, and you went from cults that typically don't have that many. Jim Jones's cult was the most people killed in any cult throughout time that we know of, and you went right to nuclear war. Where's the stuff in between?
Oh, right, it's right before you. You have to see it. Right now, there's a war going on in.
What does that have to do with a cult? I'm just curious. That's what I'm asking you.
Aren't all leaders cult leaders basically at one point? But don't they all control massive amounts of people to do their bidding?
Controlling massive amounts of people, a cult has to have, it's not about just controlling people. It's that the people have to have a belief in their cult leader. Have to have belief in a mission.
You assemble us. We believe in you. You tell us to do things.
Again, most cults are not big. I'm talking about grand scale death. You hopped right from cult to new. Like if you would have said, take for example Putin. He's in a cult and he's the cult leader, and so he's going to push the button. I could see that jump, but the other one, you're talking about. How are you making that jump? And we keep asking you. I'm like, what is your step to this? You still haven't told us.
You're right. I'm being vague. You're absolutely right.
You
So
know,
I
it's
would.
okay.
I was
First of
gonna
all, let me put it this way:
put it this way.
you can make this up on the fly because that's fine. That's what we're doing. You know, that's what we're doing. So you can pull whatever bullshit out of your ass you want to, Rons, and that's fine. Just
And you don't even have to support it with statistics.
yeah, you don't have to
Just
support it
make
with
them up.
anything. Just make it up.
Okay.
It's for entertainment purposes. But when I ask you, how are you making this jump from a tiny cult to nuclear war? That I'm like, pull some shit out of your ass at least.
I mean, all you had to do was say poop, Rons, and you would have been on board.
Well, it would have totally met up with my beliefs. Yeah.
Poop.
Exactly.
There you go.
Poop.
There we go.
That brings us right back to the waves and torrential waves of poop.
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 I wasn't going to mention Putin because of the
What, you think he's going to come for you? He's not coming for you. Trust me.
no. The war.
I say bring it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll beat your fucking ass.
You know,
Not Ron's, Putin. I'll beat the fuck out of you.
Putin, yeah.
Anyway,
I think mankind is too stupid sometimes. They have all the answers, but they refuse to look at it. So we're going to off ourselves, not with flatulence, not with.
what if you light?
Shit.
What if you light it? I mean,
Oh well, yeah. I guess if someone lights a match, I guess then there you go.
Swan, what do you think about the Ron's theory?
I don't. I mean, it's his theory. I mean, we could go with it. Whatever. Let him have his moment.
It's a major jump from cult to nuclear war, but I'm okay with it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I mean,
Show me the
he
answer.
doesn't need to fill in the gaps. It's fine. It's fine. It's just fine.
So Swan, what's your take on this? How do you think mankind's going to off himself?
I mean, we're already doing a really good job of it. Don't you think that I was watching something today on like Hulu or Netflix.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, good for me.
Yeah.
1 in 3 people have diabetes. 1 out of 10 are obese. I mean, like, come on. I'm sure. And these numbers were like old because it's from like 2017. So probably we're going to off ourselves with eating ourselves to death.
Because of poop.
Why? Because of
no, I
poop.
was
You see now, Ron's Swan is inadvertently supporting my theory, but she doesn't realize it yet.
Okay.
And why are you supporting my theory?
I don't know.
Because of the overconsumption of meat.
Okay.
That's why you have
So much poop
no.
and diabetes.
That's why you have so much heart disease, leading killer in the world.
Next to COVID.
I thought it was stupidity.
No,
I thought stupidity was the
no,
leading killer.
no, it's heart
Are you
disease.
sure?
Yes.
The stupid
right.
people don't know they're stupid, Rons. So it's okay.
No, but why do people have diabetes? You could be genetically wired to have diabetes, but the majority of the causes of diabetes is directly from your diet and a sedentary lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
And what are the majority of them eating? They're not just sitting around.
Processed crappy food.
Yeah, they're not sitting around eating carbohydrates all day long, which is what the lie is that they tell you. They're eating processed fats and they're eating hamburgers and they're eating, fast food and they're eating all this bullshit. And it takes, you got one hamburger, what went into making that hamburger? How much shit was produced from making one hamburger?
Probably.
You see how
This almost reminds me of Soylent Green.
No, not really. How does that remind you of Soylent Green?
Because
Unless you're talking about dystopia. I mean, I could see your relation
well,
there.
yeah, well, that's where it's going to lead to
Oh, gotcha,
dystopia. But it's also the process of food. When we run out, what are we going to eat next?
Well, see, that's better to eat that than just be surrounded by rivers
Really,
of shit.
so
It's still better than
yes.
rivers of shit. At least you're going to. Did you know this is? I should have. I should have written this down, but apparently there's this thing now, and I'll have to look it up later or whatever. But there is a big push now for they have pills that are basically organ meat, and there's a big push for that in the industry now. It's actually it's one of the most searched topics a couple of weeks ago, and why I don't think that's such a bad thing to have food in pill form, but again. And if you're producing livestock just to produce organ meat pills, that I have a problem with.
So, like the Jetsons, you can just get your food in a pill?
Yeah.
That's creepy. So, okay, so back to what you just said. Are they producing it just to make the pills, or are they using organ meat left over from what they make to make burgers and other things.
Yeah. I would assume that that's what they're doing. I'm assuming they're not just raising livestock to harvest organs.
Because that's gross.
Because that would be ridiculous. But I also wouldn't put it past anybody. But it all comes down to
poop.
It all comes down to poop.
Yeah.
It all comes down to poop as the byproduct of too much livestock on this planet.
So if we had no livestock, then what would happen?
Oh, that's simple. You're looking at your next meal if the Beaveman doesn't love you.
No.
Yes.
What about vegetables? You can eat some. Yeah, why not?
No. You know what vegetarian means? Bad hunter. It does.
Yeah, but you're not hunting.
Yeah.
You don't hunt.
Yeah, I know. Why would you hunt when your food source comes right to you?
But that's what I just...
Yeah.
You just said that you couldn't be a vegetarian. You said vegetarian means bad hunter, but you don't hunt. So how are you?
Because I'm a bad hunter. I know this. I accept this.
Well, then you should be a vegetarian.
Well, you look at cannibalistic tribes.
You just said that vegetarian.
You're making the jump, but I'm saying.
How am I making? You said it yourself.
He now just said he wanted to be a cannibal.
Yeah, being cannibalistic. Think about it.
Think about it.
So you won't hunt a deer, but you're gonna eat a person.
Why not?
That's gross.
Well, going back to the Beaveman, on the processed food, how many toenails or fingernails have you eaten inadvertently?
Well, I've eaten far less than you because I don't eat the M&Ms at the dojo.
There you go.
But that's keratin. That's not actual flesh and tissue. That's just keratin. That's not the same thing.
Fair enough. But if we look at the tribes around the world and that still do it, there's still cannibalism going on.
There's not that many tribes around the world that, quote, still do it, Rons.
That you know of.
Well, the last tribe that did it, that's where the diagnosis of kuru comes from. And they've pretty much stopped that process because, they were instructed and taught that that's how they were getting, encephalopathy, prion disease, from consuming the brains of other people.
That character on Sesame Street that Big Bird could only see?
That's snuffleupagus.
Close enough.
Oh, okay.
What is that encephalopolis or whatever? Swelling and destruction of the brain tissue.
Oh, that's marriage.
Or encephalitis, but that's what kuru is. Prion disease of the brain from consuming the brains of humans.
So why would you just eat the brains?
To sit there and think that there's still cannibalism, I don't think there's too much cannibalism out there.
Probably out there that we can't see it.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, I guess that's the whole thing, like God, right? Yeah, God doesn't. You don't see God, but you still believe in it. So Ron doesn't see cannibals, but he believes in them. He has faith that they exist. Kind of like how common it is for people to kill their babies. Isn't that what he said last? He's like, very common for people to kill their babies.
Well,
happens all the time, constantly.
Well, you see these shops with these shops popping up all over the states now,
for
right?
Killing babies?
No, for human flesh. Right?
What?
Yeah. What? Cannabis shops. Aren't those cannibal shops?
Close enough. Very close. Very close. It's very popular.
Yeah, they're very popular.
Some of them are very hybrid.
Yeah, and people walk in, they come out kind of baked. So, maybe they're not done yet. So they got to go back in, they get baked some more.
Sure. Hey, this is as I said, you can make this up on the fly, Ron. No one listens to this show to learn anything.
I hope not.
That is the whole point of our show. You're not going to learn anything from listening to us.
Well, if I'm going to one of those places, I want the gummy bears.
Okay.
Can I get my cannibalism in the form of a gummy bear?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, I guess.
What flavor gummy bear?
Well, if it's...
You got to get the variety pack.
Yeah.
You got to get the variety pack so you see which one that you like the best.
Okay. So once again, going back to Soylent Green and gummy bears.
Well, at least in Soylent Green, they were utilizing the person, right?
But they didn't know about it.
True. That is a bit of a problem, but obviously somehow they came up with a process that was not causing, mad cow disease or,
I agree. Yeah.
Eastern equine encephalopathy or whatever you call it.
Yeah. And it was a very, very
Kuru.
dystopian.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
So no, that's how I think that the chain reaction is going to happen. But here's my solution for saving the planet.
Okay.
The human race has to die. It has to die off completely.
Once again, that's a cult figure thing. So yeah, there we go.
Well, if we're not here, the livestock. First of all, you're never going to get people to stop eating livestock, not in our lifetime. So if the methane is going to keep being produced and the shit's going to keep being produced, and we're going to keep making livestock, and we're going to keep eating meat, that's probably not going to stop in our lifetime. Maybe someday somebody's going to come along and have evidence that everybody's going to believe, and they're going to stop eating meat. We're going to stop raising livestock, and then we're going to have all these wonderful woods and forests and grasslands, and we'll have an abundance of wild animals again.
Vegans out there, so they don't eat too much meat. So it's kind of a underground swelling.
Yeah, it's not a grand scale of people. How many vegans do you know? I know one, and I don't consider him a vegan.
I don't know who that is, but I know one.
I know two.
Actually, I know another
3,
person
4.
too. However, once a year, this person eats bacon. So, like.
And do they consume dairy?
No.
Do they eat eggs?
I don't know about eggs.
Do they eat foods with eggs in them?
Probably.
Okay, yeah, then they're not a vegan.
Yes.
They're a vegetarian. There's a difference. But so you're talking about a very small percentage of the population, especially in the United States. Obviously, there's other countries that have way more vegans than us.
Yeah.
As part of their religion, or even, there's plenty. How many hundreds of religions are there in India where a lot of them are vegans?
I thought it was only 5 or 6 of them, but now that
there's hundreds of religions. What I said was there's hundreds of religions in India. How many of them are vegan? I don't know. Ron says 5.
5.
Let's go with 5. I'm going to agree with it. I'll allow it, and I think that Ron's is correct.
Oh, I'm probably not correct, Beaveman. You'll tell me when I am not correct.
It to you. Take it, Rons. Take it. It's a win. It's a win.
Anyway,
but there's such a small.
No, there's such a no. There's no. Just
get your butt checked.
Yeah, just stop.
There we go. There's Mixie.
No, what I'm saying is there's such a small percentage of people that are vegans that if we were all vegans, yeah, we would just let let's say it was last hurrah. We're like, all right, everybody eat all the livestock, and then we're all going to become vegan. We would save the planet, but that's not going to happen. At least not in our lifetime. Maybe here's what I see as the issue. Let's say that the smartest person that's ever going to be born was born within the past few years and is an adult now. Even if they were the smartest person with the capabilities and the capacity to save the planet, they wouldn't be able to.
There's not enough buy-in.
Exactly. The smartest person ever born could have been born already and has all these wonderful ideas on how to save us all, but nobody's going to listen to him because the only people that this world listens to are people with shitloads of money or political power. You don't even have to be smart. Look at that lady, what was it, in Kansas, I sent you guys that article, who was making derogatory terms about transgender people and got away with it. And she's a lawmaker. She's in politics. So it just goes to show you don't have to, when we've known this forever, you don't have to be smart to be in politics and be in charge of making laws. So if you were the smartest person born and you're the smartest person alive right now and you could fix everything, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to listen to you. A small subset of people would listen to you, but not enough to change the world. That's what's sad.
So are you saying
no, it's not me.
People outrule the world?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look at the Soviet Union right before the collapse of the Soviet Union. I knew somebody who was from one of those countries, and she was a doctor. And she told us straight up, she's like, yeah, doctors don't get any respect in the Soviet Union. Yeah, you're the smartest person, but somebody who gets more respect than you is somebody who is a laborer. They could be in charge of a ton of people with no education, but they're a laborer because that's what the Soviet Union feels is best. The workers. But yet you, who went to school for 8 years, had a residency for 4 years, maybe specialized in something, you're not considered to be intelligent. As a matter of fact, not only are you not considered to be intelligent, but they actually considered that a woman's job. A man wouldn't do that job. That's a woman's job.
I agree with that.
So also to contribute to the downfall of mankind, flatulence and elitism and stupidity and a division of sexes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Got
Sure. I will agree with that also. I'm just going to agree with what you say, Ron.
Ron's is making some valid points today, folks. Write this
That's
down.
right. That's right.
The Beaveman's feeling very agreeable today.
I'm feeling very agreeable. The only way for us to save this is for all of us to become vegans.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't really like chicken very much.
Chicken's
I'm willing to
boring.
give up chicken.
If it was fried chicken, it's better. Fried chicken and chicken wings.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say this, but in truthfully, when people worry about things like protein, you can get plenty of protein from plants. You can actually get more protein from plants than you can from consuming animals. The bigger issue is not getting enough iron. That's actually the bigger issue. Not getting enough B vitamins, but you can supplement that stuff. You can still get it. You just can't get heme iron because you're not eating an animal source.
Yeah, well, how much do we need that?
Well, enough to not be anemic and have blood disorders.
So where would we get that from?
We would just get plant iron as opposed to getting heme iron.
I feel like we would adapt. Yeah.
We would adapt, obviously. But having said that, could I do that? Could I become vegan? It seems like a lot of hard work for me.
I mean, I guess if the food source that was available that was non-vegan was not available anymore, you would have no choice.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then your food would taste good because that's all you had.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you eat clean, your food tastes much better than when you eat garbage all the time. So that's normal.
So, I mean, if you had a good supply of fresh fruit and vegetables that actually tasted good, like a strawberry that tasted like a strawberry.
Yeah, because they just taste sour now. They don't taste good.
Yeah. So with that said, then on top of that, have a lot of spices on hand.
Well, that ruins it.
Yeah,
If you don't add spice, then you actually taste the food how it's meant to taste. See, the more shit you add in, the more you are changing your palate. You want to go the reverse. So then you're actually enjoying the taste of that whole food.
And the more processed it becomes when you're cooking it or adding things to it.
Well, the other solution is this. Here's my other solution. The human race has to die off. I'm okay with that. I don't think we contribute much to the universe. We could all become vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could all have a primarily plant-based diet and, wait for it, we could clone our meat. We could grow it in a lab.
Yeah, but if you clone the meat, wouldn't that contribute to the decomposition if you're not going to eat it? And then
why would we not eat it?
Cloning animals.
I'm not cloning animals. I'm cloning the meat.
Cloning things that make more shit. He's cloning like a ribeye.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking that if no one eats it, it's got to decompose. Therefore, it will cause.
Why would nobody eat it?
The vegans won't eat it.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? We're not talking about the vegans.
And do you think maybe the vegans may eat meat again if they make it in a humane way? Like maybe that was the reason why they didn't eat it before.
Yeah, because literally they've already done it. I mean, they've already made clean meat. They've already cloned meat. All you have to, what they do is, and you could still have a cow. You take a cow that's perfect. It was raised perfectly. It came from a good family. It's got the great bone structure. High cheekbones, whatever. They clone that, and they can clone a steak, and it just the cell proliferates and makes a freaking steak, the perfect steak. And you leave the cow alive. Heck, you'd have 10 cows as opposed to 30,000 cows. You got one cow. You got the genetic sequence for one cow, and it gets to live this happy life. And at least shit from one cow we can kind of deal with, but not shit from 30,000 cows.
Yeah. That pig farm that is kind of near us?
No.
Like it's on the way. Anyway, it smells really, really bad in the summer. And they have times where they divert like traffic around it because the methane levels are high. So just
interesting segue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swan.
I was just reinforcing
if they're
your
clone
for
meat,
this one.
what's going to prevent them from cloning humans next to take over.
What does
and
that
then-
have to do with anything?
Well, it's going to produce more shit.
I mean,
more
I know
methane.
I said that you could go ahead and take it off on any tangent you wanted to, but sometimes I got to rein you in and be like, well, why do you care about
because
that?
It's the first step in cloning humans then. And next thing you know, you have a couple of thousand Beavemen, which is cool because, you need the Beavemen cult, but they're all flatulent and methane givers.
So you're saying that I'm flatulent?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Yes, I
okay.
am.
Well, I wasn't really too worried about that. Again, I was looking at solutions, which was just
Yeah, but
clean meat.
He's
Okay,
gonna
so we've
take
got
it
clean
in the
meat
other
then.
direction.
No.
That's okay. That's
You're
fine.
absolutely okay with this.
It was
I
just one
get
of
where
my
the Beavemen-
solutions. Would you like to hear the other solutions that I have?
I would love to hear the other solutions that you have.
Okay, so here it is. I travel the galaxy, finding all the Infinity Stones. I have a gauntlet made.
I feel like I've heard this somewhere
And then
before.
I snap my fingers, and 50% of life in the galaxy is gone, disappears forever.
Yeah, I was hoping for cheeseburgers, but okay.
Well, 50% of all life will be gone.
How do you get to decide which 50%?
You
Yeah,
don't.
that
It's
was
the
my
snap.
question.
Even the person snapping could disappear.
I don't know if I'd be willing to risk that one.
I'd be okay with it.
Hmm.
So that's what you
What
would
if-
do with all that power. You would just snap your fingers.
Sure.
But what if you
And-
only killed off all the the smart people and all the dumb people were left?
It's
Ooh, good point.
random. The universe decides it. By the law of statistics, that can't even happen.
I don't know. Maybe it can.
No. There's a high probability that the Swan is actually right. So
I
now
mean-
you've got a
Well, you
world full of
can't
super-
prove that in any way. So
Actually, you can.
no, you
Okay,
you
let's
actually
hear
can't
how.
because
How
the
can we
Infinity
prove it
Stones
then?
don't exist.
Whoa, watch Swan.
I
watch
can't
it.
have a gauntlet made,
What?
and I
I'm
can't
just
snap my
trying to help
finger.
you, Rons. How
No,
can
you're
you
not. You're
prove it?
backing me in the corner. You're gonna back me in the corner.
Well, you know
You're
when I
just
said that
swap
you could make
sides.
this stuff up, Roz. You do have to have some sort of a logical thought process. Even though my Infinity Stone stuff is clearly
I mean,
off the
I
fucking
feel
wall.
like I might be right because the probability of probably people being stupid is a lot higher than smart. So if you snapped your fingers and 50% disappeared and there was 80% stupid, there's going to be a lot more stupid left than smart.
I was trying
But
to get
again,
there
what
with you
difference does it
until you
make?
flip-flopped
I
on
guess
me.
we wouldn't really care
What
because
difference does it make?
I'd be gone.
We don't know who would be gone.
Being
It's
a smart
not, it's
one.
not
The Swan
every
is saying
other.
she's
It's
one of the
not
smart
every
people.
other living thing.
You got it.
It's not every other living thing. It's 50% of all living things.
Oh,
So in other words, if you lived in a family of 4, that doesn't mean that 2 people
I'm
die.
aware of
It
what
could
you
mean that
said.
all of them are gone. It could mean that one of them are gone. It could mean that none of them are gone.
With that said, then would the planet be gone? Because the planet's a living thing.
Not that living thing. You're taking a far stretch.
Oh, I see.
You don't get to stretch it that far,
I
Ron.
don't get to stretch
Don't
it that far.
Stretch it.
No,
You can only stretch it as much as the Beaveman wants to stretch.
Oh
it.
yeah. Every 50% of the blades of grass will be gone. 50% of the insects will be gone. 50% sure, why not? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the planet itself. 50% of the planet's going to
The
go.
top half or the bottom half?
I was going to go there, but yes.
No.
No, I can speculate when I snap my fingers. All right, so apparently you guys shoot that one down. Whatever.
We don't like that
You guys
one.
don't like that one. Okay, then.
I don't
How about
mind
this
it.
then? Godzilla needs to come back.
I agree.
That could be cool.
Godzilla and all the other Titans have to come back. They got to consume all the nuclear power shit, and hopefully they'll also eat just a ton of cattle to get rid of all the shit.
I feel safe if that happens.
Why?
Why would you feel safe? Why are you special? You think Godzilla needs a fueler? You got to stick a freaking you got to stick a hose in his
He
asshole?
always attacks Asian countries. He never comes to where we live.
We have
I
just
mean-
as much nuclear power. He's going to go to where the nuclear power and the nuclear waste is.
Yeah, but he rarely ever makes it to
No,
the
but we
American
want him
shore.
to. Yeah, but you want him to come here.
You want him to eat the cows,
You want him to eat the
Clean
freaking.
up
Okay,
the
first of
shit.
all, Swan, you probably fell asleep during the Godzilla movie, so you don't even know what I'm talking about.
Probably did.
Okay, well, they consume nuclear waste and nuclear power and everything, and after wherever they've been, foliage grows back up.
Okay.
So, Rons, why would you not want him to come here?
Okay, first of all, you're going with the new Godzillas.
Yes,
I'm going
I'm
with
going
the old
with-
Godzillas. And I understand that. Also, you think if he's gonna shit, that's a lot of fucking methane.
That's still not anything in comparison to the livestock that we have.
Are you okay? Fair enough.
And when he shits daisies.
Okay. All right. I get that.
Again,
right.
this was I didn't say old Godzilla. I'm saying the new idea. The Godzilla's got to come back, and that's what they got to do. Godzilla and all the Titans got to come back, and that's what they got to do. And they got to go to they have to come here. We've got just as much nuclear power as everybody else. I want them to consume the nuclear waste and eat all the livestock. And then we become vegetarians because everywhere they go, the grasslands pop up. The vegetation pops up. We could all harvest that.
Okay. I
Suck up the pollutions in the ocean.
just think about
it can't happen. I'm just saying what I want to happen.
It can happen.
Just pretend, Rons. Use your imagination.
Swan, you're flipping again. I like that.
You like it?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I get it. I don't think I've ever seen the new Godzillas. Right. I saw one of them, and you're right about the nuclear waste. So
say nuclear.
Nuclear.
Say nuclear.
Nuclear.
Say nuclear.
Nuclear.
There you go. Good job, buddy.
Cool hip.
Hooked on phonics.
Hooked on phonics. So okay, I'll get on board with that. What else do you have as a theory?
That's it. That's all I got. You didn't like the snap. I already said that the smartest person in the world, nobody's going to listen to him anyway. I said the actual one that we could do, which is clean meat. All of us become vegans, but I don't think that can possibly happen. Because I myself am pretty sure that I can't become vegan.
Why is that?
Because we like
hardwired. Now, if it was one of those things where I had total access to all the fruits and vegetables and they were actually good, I could do it because I could live without livestock. I could totally live without livestock because if we got rid of all the livestock and we had more grasslands and we had more forests and all those other things, then the small percentage of wild animals that we have now would increase. And therefore, I could hunt. So I'd much rather hunt my food and eat food that's, eat an animal that was raised in the wilderness and got to eat whatever it wanted to eat until someday I shot it and ate it. I'd be totally cool with that.
So you want to live in a remote cabin up in the woods somewhere?
It wouldn't even have to be remote if we got rid of all the livestock.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Then the natural grasslands would come back. The natural forest would come back.
Okay.
That was the point I was making.
Gotcha.
Oh. So why didn't you make that point?
I did,
You
but
did.
Juan apparently just decided that I have to live completely remotely when you don't have to hunt.
I do believe that the cults are going to off the planet first.
How are they going to do that?
Well, once again, like I'd mentioned, nuclear Armageddon.
Say nuclear.
Stupidity. You hit it on the head. You really did.
Why is he not saying nuclear?
Because you're making fun of him.
No. Actually, it hadn't crossed my mind. Nuclear Armageddon.
Nuclear.
Nice job.
I don't even know
Very
how he
cool.
said it.
Nuclear is going to happen. And when it does, we're just going to stand around and go, wow, look at the pretty fireworks. That's all we're going to do. And, our cult leader is going to be Christopher Walken, who's going to go, wow, that is just awesome. So I figure pretty much, and we're going to need a cult leader if that happens. So
wait a minute. You said that the death of mankind basically was going to come about because of a cult leader. But then you just said there's going to be nuclear Armageddon, and after the nuclear Armageddon, we're going to need a cult leader. So which is it? I'm so confused. Are you saying
he wants to repeat it over and over and over again?
Actually, it's a vicious cycle because if you look at the flatulence, okay, you've got some great ideas. We eliminate one part. But at some point, someone's going to go, I really do like cows. Maybe we should mass produce cows again.
Right.
And it's going to start the cycle all over again until someone gets a bright idea. What was the story that we talked about a couple of podcasts ago where if you were too smart, you were eliminated from society?
The lottery. No,
The lottery.
No, not the lottery. No, not the lottery.
I think it was called lottery.
No, the lottery was a different one. That was where they just randomly stoned a family by drawing a card.
Okay.
The one we were talking about was where the kid went to take the test.
Yeah, exactly. So it will be like that. It could be like that. So the cult of the Beaveman rises from the ashes like a phoenix. And once again, someone's going to take your word way too literal and start Armageddon. It's going to start over again. Someone's going to find in the ruins of that nuclear waste a picture of the Beaveman going, he's charismatic. I want to start a cult like him. And it starts all over again until someone says, hey, we're offering ourselves over one person. Jesus, does that sound like Jesus? It does. And so someone says, maybe we should just back off, right? It's okay to like somebody, but not cause Armageddon.
Did you just
I just
compare
see that
Jesus to a cult leader?
Yes, he did.
That's great.
You prove me wrong. You get to prove me wrong here.
I mean, I'm not really religious, so I feel like religion is a cult, and I'm probably right on board with you. Stand up, sit down, say this, do that. Don't drink this today, but you can have it tomorrow.
Speaking to your mic, Swan.
I am speaking
Just
into
like
my
the
fucking
Beaveman.
mic.
No. I was referring to the Beaveman doing that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So
So, anyway, which goes
Anyway.
back to my initial way of saving the planet is not to have the vicious cycle repeat itself, but for the human race to die off. That's the only way to save, as again, that's how you save the planet.
But then who gets to,
What? You
what's
say so
left?
the planet has to be ruled by a bunch of monkeys?
Yeah.
Because that's basically what we are.
Yeah.
well, apparently
Why?
the dinosaurs weren't good enough. They offed themselves with a giant meteor.
Or was
They
it
didn't.
from poop?
They didn't seek shelter.
Or was it poop?
Maybe it was
Could have been poop.
Too
Maybe
much
the meteor
poop.
was a giant
Poop.
ball
Yeah.
of shit.
A flaming, gaseous.
It was a big
Flat
bag
planet.
of a big bag of burning dog shit hurled by a giant
It might be.
as,
It might have
as
been.
a joke.
Yeah.
Could have been.
I'm just saying that's the only way I see it happening. And I, for one, am glad for it. Let it happen.
I mean, it's probably not going to happen in our lifetime. So.
So you're
as-
okay with it? So
Yeah,
you're just
I'm
like,
okay with it.
you're just like, fuck it. I'm gonna eat this cheeseburger.
I'm going to eat that cheeseburger.
Well, right now we're eliminating parts of the planet where we can't live in, so it's actually starting to happen.
Yeah,
Look at
it's been
Chernobyl.
happening. Yeah, it's been happening.
Yeah, it's been happening.
I believe it's pronounced Chernobyl.
Oh, is it now?
No.
Just like Monopoly, Chernobyl?
Might be.
Well, at least that containment facility is good for a whole whopping 100 years. And it's already been 30?
30? Yeah, it's a bit. Wow, time flies when you
Hasn't
have
it?
nuclear waste.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
in
been
the
like 30 years already?
Was it the 90s? The
I
90s?
feel like it was, yeah. I feel
So
like
with
it was
the-
late 80s, early 90s.
So
With the
that's 30
nuclear
years.
fallout, maybe we'll
Say
get
nuclear.
superpowers
Say nuclear.
and then fly
How did
away.
he say
into
it? Nuclear. How did I don't even know.
nuclear.
He says nuclear.
Nuclear.
It's
I
nuclear.
say the way I want to
If
say
he
it.
says
not
it
the
too
way it would.
fast, he says nuclear.
Nuclear.
Like with two U's.
Nuclear. I don't even know how
Nuclear.
you spell that. I don't know how you spell that.
I don't know.
Badass. That's how you spell it. But maybe you'll get superpowers.
No, I don't
Or
think so.
cancer.
What good's that going to do you if you had superpowers anyway? You can't fix
Then
everything.
you can off the planet with a snap of your finger.
I don't think any other planet that's inhabited by other life forms wants us to visit.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. That's the big reason why I think that we're not going to get invaded by aliens.
Are you saying that in this
to-
entire universe we are the southern or the redneck area of
I wouldn't even give us
galaxy?
that much credit. No, what advanced life form wants to come to this warring planet of monkeys?
None. Because if they wanted us, they would have already invited us to theirs.
Maybe we have to, invent something or go beyond our mental state right now to
We
achieve
can't
that.
because we're too stupid.
Because we're in a cult
Mm.
and we like steak.
True.
Yeah. And our planet is covered
In poop.
in poop. Covered in poop.
It's on
Jeez.
everything. Your toothbrush runs, everything.
I don't want to hear this, really. I mean, I'm having a
Dojo
lousy-
M&Ms has
That's what I-
yours and others.
Every body of water out there is just
Okay,
a giant toilet.
Oh, that I agree. I had a friend of mine telling me Hey, I invited her out to a lake to go swimming. She goes, "You want to? Do you know what fish
How
do in
old?
that lake?"
How old was this person?
She was over 21.
And how old were you?
I think
It was yesterday.
yeah, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. And I said to her,
Didn't answer the question.
"Yeah, I was over 21." Gee, I don't know.
How much
I
over
turned
21? How many
How
years
long ago
past
was
21
this?
were you? How long? Yeah, how long ago was this?
like yesterday. It was yesterday.
Okay.
Anyway, I turned around and I said, "Honey, you don't want to know what they do in the ocean, then the whales, because I
And you
agree with
said
what
honey?
you said.
You said honey.
That was not
Yeah,
creepy.
That's
not creepy.
so.
I'm
Cringy.
not going to use her real name on the air,
Why?
but
Oh
You
my
called
God,
out
this was
Cohen.
recently.
no, it was actually a couple years ago, quite a long time ago.
So wait a minute. So
however,
a couple years ago, you still would have been in your 50s. How old was this person?
He said 21.
no, she was 50. She's about my age,
Okay. All right.
if not a little younger than me.
By like
Not
30
much
years.
younger than me.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll allow it.
Thank
We'll
you.
allow
Thank
it.
you. So, with the offing of half the population, are you going to oversee who marries who
No.
or who gets the best
It's a
mate?
random snap. I might not even be alive. I'm included in the snap.
Yeah, but you are going to be alive. No, because let's face
It's
it, you're going to be
random.
the wielder.
It's random.
No, it's not going to be random.
Yeah, sure. Of course it is.
No.
It's
No.
my.
He made it up. So if he
Okay.
doesn't want, if he wants to be included in it, he can be.
But for all intrinsic purposes, we know that Beaveman will
For
always
all
be around.
intrinsic purposes.
Did he-
Intrinsic
That's a new one.
purposes.
That's a new one on me. For all intrinsic purposes.
Intrinsic.
As opposed to
Can you
extrinsic
tell me the
purposes.
definition of
Yes,
that
please.
word,
Yeah,
Ron?
can you tell us what intrinsic means without looking at Miriam?
All inclusive.
For intrinsic purposes. Should we start using it? Is that going to be on a t-shirt?
It probably should.
Right
Sure.
next to little cucumbers popping up?
Oh,
I
that
would
would be
like
a
that.
cute t-shirt, actually. Little cucumbers popping up. Little cuties. Some with little curlies. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Anyway.
those are my theories.
I
That's my
like those
theories.
theories.
Hey there, members of the Great Slaptail Nation. It's me, the Beaveman, and I'm here to deliver you a message from beyond the stars about our sponsor for this episode, Swiss Navy. No matter who you love or how you love, Swiss Navy products set the bar for sexual enhancement. There's more glide, more comfort, and even products for longer lasting pleasure. Great. Now that we have our professional corporate talk out of the way, on a more personal note, I love Swiss Navy silicone lubricant. It's amazing. I'm not joking. It is so amazing that I'm hesitant to try the other products because I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to use it on the rare occasions the Swan and I have sex. It's like a sexual force multiplier. Try it. You won't be disappointed, and I promise to try the other products. After all, is there a better way of sharing a product review than with your listening audience? Of course not. Swiss Navy has a wide range of premium products to choose from for whatever amount fills your hole. By the way, my son wrote that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm such a proud father today. But they have options from travel sizes of only 2 ounces all the way up to a gallon option for certain products. I'll leave it up to your imagination, dear listener, what can be accomplished with a gallon of premium quality lube. But don't just take my word for it. Try it out for yourself by going to SwissNavy.com. Once again, that's SwissNavy.com. And in your order comments, let them know the Slaptail Squad sent you. Swiss Navy. No matter who you love or how you love. Adios, moochfuckos. So anyway, Swan, did you ever say what your idea was and why the world is going to be...
I did. I said obesity and diabetes and bad health. Diabetes. And just killing ourselves from the inside out.
Diabetes.
Lopping off one toe at a time. Yeah. And just wasting money on frivolous, needy medical stuff. Big pharma.
Mm.
Big pharma.
Mm.
Yeah. We're going to kill
Because
ourselves.
apparently,
That's what I call
right
my
now, the
calves.
pandemic's not doing it, right?
That's what I call my
Pandemic's
calves.
not killing off enough people.
It
for you.
is. Oh, it probably is. Big pharma.
No.
Big pharma. No, far more people die from COVID than they know of or are reporting.
Oh, yeah.
Because far more people have COVID than is reported also. That's why the numbers are so bogus. Because you're not required to report your self-test.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
So
didn't
many
know
people-
that.
So
No.
many people
No, you're not
refuse
required
to
to.
test themselves because they refuse to acknowledge that they have it, but they're sick for like a month
Yeah, that's also
I
and
ridiculous.
go to work as healthcare workers. I know
Hmm.
a bunch of them.
Mm.
Hmm.
Ooh, sounds like someone you know.
I know a bunch of them actually. Yep.
Hmm.
But so yeah.
Really?
Interesting.
There's also, yeah.
Yeah.
What comes down to poop? All right.
All
Well,
comes
now
down
it's
to poop.
time. It's time for my pick of the week. It's the Beaveman's pick of the week of television shows or movies or documentaries. And here's the good one. Hence
Mhm.
the reason why I talked about poop today. It's called Cowspiracy.
Oh, I started to watch.
Will
that
you
one
shut
a
up
while
so I
ago.
can say the title?
Yes, you can.
You
You
just
said the title.
no. I'm not done. There's a colon, just like
Well,
your
Isn't
friend.
there a colon in everything that you
There's a
poop?
colon, just like your friend.
Shout
That's
out.
Colin.
No.
Shout out to Colin.
Sure. Cowspiracy, the sustainability secret on Netflix.
Cowspiracy. Okay, you have to enunciate. I thought you said housespiracy. My mistake.
Cowspiracy by Kip Anderson and Keegan Kuhn. They interviewed that guy, that book that I read, The Omnivore's Dilemma. If you've never read that book, it's a great book. Scares the shit out of you.
Hence the reason for all the poop talk.
No, there's far more poop from cows than from humans. There's actually a scene. So if you go to watch that show, you should also remember that there's some really kind of sensitive images in that show. Also, there is a point in that show where a dude lops the head off a duck.
Oh, poor little dog.
Little duck. Little duck.
Would you rather see a head lopped off of a cow or a duck?
I like ducks.
So it'd be far more okay to be lopping a head off a cow.
But I also like to eat ducks. So
That's kind of a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really need to see the head lopped off of anything if I'm not doing it myself.
So if you were using your sword and you had to pick,
Now, why would I do that? That's not economical. Why would I just go lop the head off something with my sword? There are instruments specifically for that,
oh, like what?
like a hatchet.
I don't know these things. Why would
Why would I use that? Why would I use my sword?
I don't know. You
Well,
Sword
because
is-
first of all, it gives you a chance to be a ultra badass, and that could be like that duck could be your mortal enemy, and there could only be one.
Right. It would only be fair though if the duck had a sword as well.
would. So you could lop the head off a cow with a hatchet?
No, oh my god.
Well, I was talking about a cow.
I'm not going to use a sword to lop the head off of a cow.
She
Why
said
not?
hatchet.
No,
Yeah,
she said sword.
I said sword initially, and then he said I would use a hatchet.
Because
So,
I was talking about a duck.
well, I would rather lop the head off a cow than a duck. I wouldn't. Poor little.
What would
duck.
be the point of lopping the head off of
I
the
don't
cow?
know.
to make it a point for all the other cows not to fuck with you.
Yeah.
You make them watch what you do.
stop.
You let them tell their other friends.
How's it going to tell its other friend?
Oh, they will. They'll know. You know they'll know.
Well,
Anyway.
anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, no.
Wow.
Anyway,
Okay, so because you mentioned conspiracy,
yes.
it's got a website and it's got greenhouse gases. And wow, I am just amazed by this. Livestock and their byproduct account for at least 32 million tons. No, 32,000 million tons of carbon dioxide. Probably reading that wrong. Or, as you mentioned, 51% of all worldwide greenhouse gas emissions. So instead of eliminating the people, why not just eliminate the emissions?
Which would be
the poop.
the cows.
The
right?
cows. Which is what
Yeah,
you
but
want.
I want a
livestock.
good, I would like a good steak.
Okay,
So just-
but
Were
again,
you not listening?
clean meat can
I
be
did.
cloned. They've already done it. Already done it.
All right. All right.
And there's other, what's the other food that, like the smart, what do they call those? The whatever, the
Beyond Meat or light
Beyond Meat. That's supposed
yeah.
to be good too. I mean, and that
Do
meat,
they make it in steak form?
well,
I've
that
only
meat they've
seen that
actually,
in
the
burgers. Sorry.
they actually have taken, it's my understanding, they've cloned the the hemoglobin also, and that's why that meat tastes like meat. Don't know. Don't quote me on that because, again, you're not going to learn anything from listening to us on the Slap Tail
No,
Squad.
not at all. Don't learn.
What's that website there, Ron?
Cowspiracy.com/facts.
Oh, it's just cowspiracy.com. That's easy.
/facts. Yeah.
Okay, it's just, but I'm pretty sure that they could probably just type in cowspiracy.com and I'm pretty sure that would pop up. They probably don't even have to use the facts part. I'm just saying. Probably
No,
pretty easy.
you're absolutely right.
So does that one talk about like how you were talking about how diabetes and carbs and all that stuff? Diabetes, like is not really what it's eating meat that makes you fat and diabetic and unhealthy.
They don't really delve into that.
Oh well, that's what I was watching.
They're basically talking about poop.
Oh yeah, they're talking about poop.
Talk about poop.
Well then,
about poop.
Yeah, the one I was watching talked about that. How you shouldn't eat meat though. That one's called What the Health.
Was that like the Sick Nation or something like that?
No, it's called What the Health.
Okay, so you know that it's a different documentary,
Yes, it is.
and then why did you say, "Oh, I was watching that one," and then you're like, "Oh no, it's a different one."
I said the one that I was watching was talking about.
That's not what she said. Is
Also,
it?
yes, it was.
Didn't she say that she was watching?
No, I was.
Like, I was watching that one.
No, the one I was watching talks about how eating meat is bad for you too, like what you were watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's not what she said.
That's what I said.
Can we get the playback? Can we get our sound engineers go ahead and play that back?
Yeah, play it back to us.
Raphael. See, go ahead and play that back for us, will you? No entiendo.
You're dumb.
Okay, thanks, Raphael. Maybe we'll get back with you later. Sí, no entiendo, mister. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Anyway.
You're dumb.
Somebody needs to speak Spanish to the Raphael over here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually thought he was Italian, but whatever.
Why would you think he's Italian?
I don't know. His name's Raphael.
Makes it
So
darn good pasta.
His brother's Donatello? I don't freaking know.
Hey, Donnie and Rafi.
Anyway, that's my pick of the week. Good show. Check it out. Check it out.
Good call. All right, let's take a call from caller number 2 from Peoria. You're on the air.
Why
Go
are they
ahead.
always from Peoria? You got a lady friend in Peoria? Is that the deal?
I would love to have a lady friend in Peoria.
Oh.
Whoa.
You would?
Wouldn't we like to have lady friends all over the place?
Oh, okay. Good save. Good save, Ron.
Thank you.
Good save.
Yeah.
Foe 1 foe.
So
310.
It's not good.
I guess we're gonna have to save our. Thank you.
I don't know.
I guess we're gonna have to save our question for the Tremonde for next week.
About poop.
About poop, yeah.
No, I have a really good question for Tremonti next week, but Tremonti couldn't join us because he needs to.
Get your butt checked.
He definitely needs
Get your
to.
butt
He
checked.
has to.
Get your butt
He really should.
Yeah.
You know, when I read our messages, our little.
Why are you gonna
pre-production
out him on
messages,
that?
Yeah, why you? Some people have to
I
have
thought
some
it was
shame.
pretty cool.
You thought
that
it was
you-
cool that he has diarrhea?
No. I
You
didn't
just
mention
outed him,
anything.
Swan.
I did.
I was reading our pre-production notes, and I'm like, okay. By the way, also on that, I texted you the wrong. I had 2 conversations going on with you: a private one and the one with a group chat.
Ooh.
That's the way it came through.
Ooh.
So when
Know
we
that
were
I got
setting
a
up the
text from you.
time,
I don't know that I got
we
a
were
text from
setting
you.
up the time. I saw that it's like I'm busy until then, and you shot back. Why the fuck would you tell me that? And I'm like, what the hell is his problem? And then I realized, oh, I sent it to the wrong group
What?
chat.
You don't know how to work text still?
I was busy at the time, and I just saw the Beaveman pop up. That was it.
Oh, so you're talking about, when I was asking you if you guys are going to be done at the dojo. That's what I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm busy at that time. I'm like, what the fuck are you
I had
talking
to work
about?
that night? And I thought that was in response to the group chat about the podcast.
Okay,
like,
so now I understand what you're talking about. Yeah, that's why I was like, dude, what I'm saying, are you guys going to be done at the fucking dojo? Because we have a class.
yeah, I read that too, and I'm like, cool. Yeah, then when you guys come in, I'm like,
You idiot.
yeah,
Jackass.
It's that black hole texting situation he's got.
it is.
He doesn't
It is.
understand
It
how to
is.
use his phone, but that's okay.
Have you ever texted the wrong person the wrong conversation, Rons?
I don't think I have. Have you?
Well, he just said he did.
No. I mean, like, inadvertently, like, did something bad that he shouldn't have. Just a little. Just a little.
No.
Yeah. Like, I've done that before. I remember I called into work one time and I texted the Beaveman, but I actually accidentally texted my boss who I had previously just texted that I was calling in and said, "Yep, I told him I called in for this. See you soon." Whatever. Yeah.
How'd that work out
Oops.
for you?
It was fine. She left.
Fascinating story. Great
Yeah.
segue, Swan. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right. Well, that's it for me, the Beaveman. Thanks for joining us. I'm supposed to do this thing that I don't ever do, and I really should. I have to get in the habit of it. Probably should just write myself a note card. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on Deezer, on Google Podcasts, Google Play, whatever it's called. You can find us pretty much every flippin' where. You can also find us at theslaptailsquad.buzzsprout.com. You can find us on Instagram at Slaptail Squad, and of course at our Facebook page, The Slaptail Squad or Slaptail Nation. And of course, if you have questions for us or topics you would like us to talk about, we probably won't do it anyway, but go ahead and shoot us an email at slaptailsquad@gmail.com. And
I'd
of
like to add
course,
to that.
or you can add to it when I'm done.
Okay.
And of
I will.
course, get out there and use some Swiss Navy lube.
Of
At-
course.
Check out SwissNavy.com, the best lube on the planet. Like anyone can know that. I actually don't know that, but it is the best one that I've ever used, and it's awesome. And that's it from me, the Beaveman. Adios, much fuckos. Take it away, Rons.
I would like to add to that if you ever see
All
me
right,
out in
end of
public,
show.
No.
And
Let him ramble.
So
Give him his
whenever you
moment.
see the Rons, I always talk about the podcast, and we've gotten a few new listeners, of course. And so I always talk up the B-Man, never talk down to him, because even though he's shorter than me, so you don't
Actually
talk down to him.
No, he's not.
Shorter than you.
A Swan.
What?
No, don't even.
He's
No.
not. He's not. I'm pretty sure. No.
He's large where it counts, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. There you go, B-Man. I got you there.
I'll take it as a win.
Yeah, that's a win there for you.
All
Right. I'll set it up. You take it down.
Oh
yeah,
boy, that's nasty. That's not the fluffing I want. No. Nope.
What kind of
Nope.
fluffing do you want?
Not that kind. Nope.
What's not that kind? Okay,
Your
whatever.
kind. none of
Oh my
none of
God.
that. None of that, Rons.
So yeah, if you ever see the B-Man or the Swan or the Rons, I will tell you about the podcast and how it's wonderful to do it every week with these people.
What do
So
you mean by these people?
These people. He wants to do it with them
What
every
does he
week.
mean by when he refers to me as these people?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
He's just making it cringy.
no, you're making it cringier.
Cringier. You're,
Cringier. And Tremonde, get well.
yeah, it's
Well, that's-
true.
I think that's what he was
True.
trying to say.
That's
So
probably what was gonna say.
I would humbly request that you come up with a couple of new sound bites.
Nah.
Can you request that
Why
later?
do I need a couple? What's wrong with the ones that I have?
No, they're great. Let's keep them. I want to plug you on your Wisdom app too. If you ever want to talk to the Beaveman live
Oh,
and in
definitely.
person, he's been doing some Wisdom app talks. I think on Wednesdays, right?
Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, I try to do one a week. Yeah.
So you can join him, talk live. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I usually don't give times when I'm going to be on, but I just kind of hop on there. It's
So
true. Tis true.
I think
It
you
is-
can
it is true.
follow him on the Wisdom app, and it probably tells you when you're live. Maybe
It
I don't
does.
know.
It will tell you when I'm live. That is correct.
Yeah. So bye from the Swan.
And from the Rons, Tremonde, get better. From the Rons, hey.